weekly discussions about your favorite video game. You're listening to On Smite. Howdy, folks. It's On Smite, episode 416, recorded on February 25th, 2016. I'm Brent Coblin.
I'm Rand Karin.
I'm Eric Fullerton.
And today we have a very special guest with us in, well, I won't say in studio, but in Twitch studio, something like that.
Is it in the studio?
LokiPlague. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Before we move on and ask you questions and stuff, which I'm sure we'll do. We do that sometimes. You want to give a brief synopsis to listeners about who you are and what you do with in the Smite community?
Yeah, sure. Pretty much. I do a little bit of streaming. I mod a lot of stream chats. Smite game mod, Incon mod, mainly. A lot of other players. I do some content creation for what used to be Smite Showcase. Rest in peace. It will be missed. Oh, those were fun times. And then I just play a lot of Smite. Pretty much.
What's your favorite mode?
Currently, after Season 3 started, it is definitely Joust. 3v3. Hands down.
That seems a lot going on. I seem to get the fastest matches going for 3v3. Do you think they're taking notice and, maybe they'll just get rid of Conquest? Who needs that, right?
Oh, maybe. For me, I think the main part of it is I still like doing Conquest, but it's a lot less fun for me to do Conquest unless I have that full party. And it's a lot easier to find that full party for 3v3s for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, I don't do Conquest much because I want to, I don't want to play with 4 strangers who are going to yell at me for sucking. So, but this week when I was trying to finish my qualifying matches for 3v3, I accidentally joined not just a Conquest, but a Conquest League. And I got in, I was like, oh, crap. There's too many people in here. This isn't good. But I've got to say, I did well as a support, and no one yelled at me. We lost, but I did not get yelled at.
Support main right here, so props.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think my favorite mode is still domination.
Oh, that sucks for you, right?
Yeah.
I actually, my status in Smite right now, I have it changed so it reads in-game mode domination. And I've actually gotten a few whispers of people going, what the heck is domination?
Oh,
that's
it's already
right.
been
It
forgotten.
has been. Oh, that's so sad.
It's been gone for so long.
It's like the Manticore.
And what's your second favorite? Probably Siege?
Yes,
Is that the one nobody plays?
it used to be Siege. I used to play Siege a lot back when I played a lot of Mercury and Fenrir. But it's probably just Conquest.
And that's good because Siege is probably going to go the same way that Domination did eventually.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I liked Siege too. I think it kind of ranked up there almost with Conquest, but because it was new, I was able to jump in and learn it and play it and not feel like I was, kind of hamstringing the team. But you can't really have 2 Conquest modes, really, or at least that same type of long play, I don't think.
Yeah, it was kind of that intro to Conquest kind of mode where you were introduced into the lanes. The Siege minions were obviously different, but then they came out with the Clash mode, which is obviously a much better version of intro into Conquest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's a lot of fun.
It's absolutely Clash that's killing Siege.
Yeah, agreed.
Clash.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I never really liked Siege in the first place, to be honest.
Oh, there goes our avatar. Thanks a lot.
What do you hate, Mayans or something?
He's definitely against Mayans.
I guess, gosh.
He's a Mayanist.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sure.
Oh, he sees Chibalanque and he's like, that damn Mayan.
Hey, Diamond Kukulkan. I'm not totally against the Mayans.
But that was only because they changed him, right?
Yeah, that's true. I got him to Diamond as Alfong in the original form, so yeah, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
well.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't. No, I would have finished him in Diamond. I would have reached Diamond by the time he was, or he would have been switched by the time I reached Diamond. Wasn't that recently.
I still don't even have a single diamond.
Not a single.
Not a single diamond.
So you're not a grinder, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I've tried grinding, and I just get too tired of it. I like playing a large variety. in all of my games. I don't like sticking to the same god unless I've went on kicks. I think I did like 20 games in a row of Sun Wukong one time, but I mean it's Sun Wukong. Who doesn't love him?
Right. Do you have a an archetype favorite like hunter or guardian or?
Not really. Because I'm a support main, and the beauty of the support role is you have your selection of everything.
Right.
I mean, I'm known to support with obviously the Guardians. You have the Assassins, you have the Warriors, but I've also run support Giannis, support Kukulkan, support Ratatasker, who has 5-0 win ratio on me right now.
Nice.
So
I like Rata.
Yeah.
he's good. I mean, Topaz Acorn is so underrated.
And speaking of, we have some Rata skins. We gave a few away weeks ago, but we have more. So keep tuned into our website at onsmitepodcast.com. And we give those out on Fridays, and we've got 3 more batches. So the next 3 Fridays, we'll get that out to you folks, as well as some PS4 alpha codes. We'll probably give those out. Let's do it in the stream next week. Let's give out a bunch so people can get in there. We don't want to hold those for a long time.
You know, I made the mistake of I was flying last Friday, and I had gotten some alpha codes, and so like 5 minutes before boarding the plane, I sent out a tweet, and I didn't hashtag or anything. All I said was I've got a couple alpha codes, and my Twitter exploded. And I'm trying to get ready on the plane. I'm trying to send these guys their codes, and yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's been a week now, and it seems like there's a lot of sources to get them.
Right.
But certainly that first day, they were hot commodities.
And speaking of hot commodities, let's see what's happening with everybody this past week.
Hey guys, what's cracking? What is cracking?
I feel like that's EQ'd up or something. I'm going to let you look at the board after we're done with this.
I will do that.
You're the audio genius. The audio Zeus. But anyway, this is what's cracking. This is where we tell you what's been crack-a-lagging or not crack-a-lagging for the past week or so. I'm going to jump in and start because I don't want to forget something I didn't put in the doc. I've been looking for my my jetpack skin because, you know, I signed up for it and then I entered in my high-res stuff into the app and I'm like, I never see it. And I'm like, oh, well, you got to get a code or something. And I finally looked into exactly how you do it. And apparently the one big thing I was missing is you got to get to level 48 or to the 48th level. And once you do that, you get an achievement that gives you a code that you can go unlock it. So anybody else who was wondering, who is as stupid as I am, that's how you get it. And it's not that bad. I mean, like I do, 10 levels in, 10, 15 minutes. They're real fast levels. And it's a fun game. So I plan to have mine, sometime this week, hopefully, for next show. Also, I've got to lay out another protest for Jump Party. I don't know if... Loki, do you like Jump Parties? Do you?
I will jump party in every single game. I'll jump party in Conquest. I'll jump party in Arena. I don't care.
But do you get... Okay, here's my problem. Is like in the past week, I've seen 4 Jump Parties. May not be that many. Every single one has ended in someone dying. One way or the other. And it's like, it's okay if you can get the other team out there and grab one of theirs and kill them. But when it seemed like everyone, I was behind the ball with my team, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, what?
I'll be honest. For me, it's like fuel to the fire if that happens. Like, I'll go out, even if I'm the only person on that jump party. If someone attacks me, and if they kill me, which most likely they will because I'm too busy jumping, I know who I'm going to target and single out for the rest of that game. Like, hello, Zeus. You just decided to ultimate me while I was jumping as a Fenrir. Guess what? You're going to die, buddy.
That's not a bad idea. Like, my problem with the jump party is like, it kind of screws people, I think. Always. But maybe if everybody took that, role that, like, if you screw up a jump party, even your own team's not going to help you. And I'm just going to let you get, killed or something. Would that be wrong?
That would be wrong. I guess it's really most deadly in Assault, I guess, because everybody has their ult ready, like
Yep.
at the start of the game. So,
It's queued up.
but that's when you always see, or that's when you're most likely to see a jump party anyway, because the lane is short and everybody's there anyway. But the last time I died, I was a Zeus. I forgot how I died, but I died during the jump party. And then after it was all said and done, the match is over. The person who killed me actually apologized in the lobby. That's the first time I ever saw that. He was like, "Sorry about that, Zeus." And I was like, "It's okay." I had forgotten about it because this is like 30 minutes later. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that is true. Like jump parties are forgotten pretty fast.
I can't remember what video it was. It was like a year ago on Reddit where I found it, where there was a jump party going on, and someone came out, I think it was like a Poseidon or something, and tried to crack in, and his team just backed off and let the enemy team just kill him. And then they just,
Nice.
both teams just went back to jump in. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment. Almost as good as the jump party at the Season 1 Worlds. Yeah, didn't Cog and Titan do a jump party, I think?
I know
Yeah,
there
right
was
at the,
one
at the start of the
Yeah.
first match in the final.
Yeah, at the
yes.
start of the match, they did a jump party. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Would have been more awesome if one of the teams had just jumped on something. No, just kidding. You found the culprit. No. Also, this week I finally ranked, but I only got bronze 4. So that was bad. But then I solo queued and I went 5-0 as a support to Mir and got my 22 points. And I was like, okay, well this is going to be easy ranking up if I'm against teams like this. Like I guess before I was hitting like teams that shouldn't be there.
Well, especially when you're qualifying, if you have a couple good games near the start, then it really spikes you up against who they're going to test you against. Because I had the same thing. Once I got qualified, I found the matches were far easier to get my promotion. So,
well, so how does it work? Say, okay, you ranked up too, not to jump into your week.
Yeah. Yeah, I ranked
but we're different.
bronze 5 because we won like the first 2 matches and then lost 8. So because we couldn't find a good groove, right? It was me and Brent and just some random it was just bad luck. But it kind of makes sense what you said, Ragin, is because we won early on, like in a good way. Like we just creamed them, but like after that it was just like super hard.
Yeah, and then we just want to get the games done, so we're just like, whatever, just
Yeah, I just was like, just
go on,
just rank
no
me
planning.
somewhere, I don't
Just do
care.
it. But my question is, if you're ranked 5 and I'm ranked 4, if we queue up together, how does it put you against another team? Is it looking for another team with ranks that are separate, or is it like an average of ranks, or is it just the highest person?
It's more or less the MMR, or your ELO and stuff like that. So let's say both teams, or your team with a combined all 3 of players, if you triple queue, let's say you have a combined ELO of 3,500. Let's just say that. It's going to try to get an enemy team with an ELO of almost the exact same. It doesn't matter if one of them is 500, one of them is 1,200, and one of them is a number in between that, as long as everything matches up to as close as possible at the end game.
Okay, so it's never really looking at the ranks to match people together?
Correct. That's
Okay.
why last season, Season 2, there was such a big... Like, everyone was kind of yelling out for matchmaking with Conquest, because you would have Diamond and Masters players, and they would get Silver players in their game after they reached the max queue time, because it was just reaching for those players, and it was just leveling out.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, like even today, I was in a match where my team was a bronze, a silver, and a platinum.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it'll really screw around with it. And I'm sure a big part of it too right now is because the queues are so active. Everyone's kind of jumping in. A lot of people are probably trying League for the first time. The queues are super short, so obviously they're getting a ton of people wanting to play. But at the same time, I mean, I'm going up against platinum players and I'm demolishing them sometimes. And then on the flip side, a bronze 4 will come and kick my ass. So a lot of it is, people haven't been placed properly yet. It's only been open for 3 weeks now, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sifting that still needs to happen to get people into the right categories.
I'm not even touching Conquest right now. That's That's a world of hurt on its own at the moment. Like, even though I didn't touch it for the first like week or 2 weeks, because I mean, obviously all the pro players were in the gold or even lower, depending on how their stuff went, and you were always going to be ranked against people of almost higher skill than what I was, at least. But I think the main thing with me with the season 3, like, I like the triple Qs for ranked joust. That makes sense for me.
Yeah.
For conquest, I don't agree with it. It's nice, but that's why I'm staying away from it. Because what ranked used to be in season 2 and season 1, you had to be that person on your team to carry. You had to be that person to prove your worth to rank up now, to rank through. Now, it's who has the better party of 3. That's
Right.
essentially what it's turned into.
Right. It seems like that's kind of what it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, for 3v3, not for conquest. I mean,
Yeah. For 3v3, I can see it. For conquest, I understand the dual queue, being able to queue with a friend. I liked that. But
yeah.
I think 3 is a little bit over the top.
And I guess my last question before I'll move on and pass the torch or whatever is when you win, do you always get 22 points? When you lose 6, or is it just dependent on like elo difference?
It's all dependent on the elo.
Okay.
It's so let's say with the 2 teams that are playing, one team is gonna technically be more stacked than the other. So the computer's gonna recognize one team that should be able to win. The team that should win, if they do win, is going to get the lower amount of TP, let's say 6, and the team that wasn't supposed to win or had the odds against them will get that 12 if they win.
Okay. And then so I get 22, so that means we really sucked and we beat someone a lot better than us.
Right.
Like that.
22 is the highest that I've seen so far to gain. I think the lowest I've gained so far on a win was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And then losing, the most I've lost for losing a match was 10. And actually, there was one match I lost, and I only lost a single point.
Okay.
So,
That's
it
good.
really varies.
Because I think I got ranked, and then we played one more to get you ranked, and we lost, and I lost 6 points. I was like, oh God, am I going to like... So you got to lose,
Yeah.
and they don't tell you how many you have to lose before you actually drop a rank. Or is there? Do people know if they've kind of figured out how many losses it takes? Or
It's all based on how much TP you have. So if once your TP is depleted to 0, you get 1 gimme game. So if
Holy
you
fuck.
lose that game, then you should still stay at your rank. But if you lose the next game, then you'll be demoted to the next rank down, or whatever your elo would be equal to.
that was a close one then. Dodged a bullet.
Also, I kind of wish the seasons weren't a whole year. You know?
Like almost 2 quarters or something.
Yeah, do like 4 a year or something. I don't know.
Oh, everybody would have to qualify
Yeah.
all the time. It would, no.
I gotta say I don't agree with that
You
one.
don't think so?
No.
This
I
is
mean,
my first season,
I don't even
so
like
I
one
don't know how
season
to
of
compare it
basketball.
yet.
So
Yeah. I'm used right now. I'm playing a lot of different games that have really short seasons, and they may not be MOBAs
Like
per se.
Hearthstone and
Hearthstone's
yeah.
one
Oh, yeah.
1 month.
So-
I'm playing another strategy card game, and it's like actually that one's a week. So
Oh,
you know,
jeez.
I mean,
Is-
with a MOBA, you don't want to be like one a week, but I don't know. I'm feeling 4 a year, but I could see maybe why not, because
yeah.
it is a big ordeal to qualify, and then you have the entire year to work
Well, to
on
rank
it,
up,
you know,
too,
to rank,
like-
you know.
Like if you were doing I could see like the shorter the season, if you were trying to get like ranked up real high, like
Yeah.
you wouldn't really have much time to play at that rank when you
Mhm.
finally got there, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
how would
Well,
that
they-
work with the pro league as well? Because I mean, you need that to span an entire year of a season. Essentially,
Yeah.
you can't really split that up any less.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too, is like we just talked about how the rankings are all mixed up right now because people haven't played enough to really get properly sifted. Once that happens, at least theoretically, you know, you should eventually get to that point where you belong in the rankings, and you should get really high quality matches against people that are going to be those really good, close, exciting, fun games, right? It's not going to be, theoretically at least, it's not going to be as loose with the matchmaking as it is in casual, where you get these blowouts. And especially one of the things I really like about the ranked joust as opposed to the casual joust is people are taking it way more seriously, which means you're not getting these really stupid team comps. You're getting people really trying to plan their stuff out. Makes the game a lot more interesting.
Yeah, yeah. We had a few where people were a little angry at our ban choices, because like we would be like the two in there, and I'd be like trying to ban people, and they'd be like, "Why'd you ban that person?" or whatever, because everybody wants you to ban Ares and Soul and.
So what are you guys banning then? What did your bans look like through your ranked experience?
What were some? I know we went with Neath a lot because we always see Neath.
Okay.
And Neath seems to be like one that's like.
But the thing is, like, if I'm playing a lot of a Wheelix and Joust, so
So we don't want to ban a
I
Wheelix.
kind of like playing against a Neath, you know, because I can pull her. But without a Wheelix, Neath is kind of I mean, from what we've seen, is a #1 hunter choice. So
seems like Huyi, Artemis,
Huyi.
and
That's Huyi,
Neath.
definitely.
we never saw any Huyi, but then again, we just
we're
played
playing with
10
the scrubs.
Games, so,
Yeah, it's so tough to rank because I was in Bronze 3, I think, or Bronze 2. I don't even remember for last season, just for Conquest. And it's so tough because when you are in the lower divisions, like, I know some people are down there that don't deserve to be, but obviously no one can play the gods to a pro potential. So the bans that you see going on in the pro league and everything, when they would say, why the heck would you ban that god, or why would you pick that god, they're so OP or they're not, it really comes down to your individual skill with them and what you're comfortable going up against.
Yeah, yeah. And they know like who they're playing, and they know all the gods that who they're playing, what they like to play, and so there's respect bans, which you don't have as. I don't think people are like pulling up my stats and going, "Oh God, you need to ban Amir immediately." I mean, maybe they are. That should be an add-on for the curse voice or something. It pops up like someone's, best gods or something.
Yeah.
So
Do not let those two have Amir and Ares.
I think that's one thing. I think Badger brought it up on Twitter, or was it Polar Bear Mike? I can't remember who brought it up, but with how the gods are right now in the season, at least in Conquest. For the pro teams, there's almost no wiggle room for respect bans anymore because there's so many gods that are top tier. Like, you have to ban out these certain gods, otherwise, if they get through, you're pretty much done. So, like, say you're going up against Kanye Life and you want to respect ban out his Ymir, you're gonna wind up leaving something open that they're gonna get that you're not gonna want to deal with.
Right, and that's a good thing. Like, that was always my problem with bans. Was people banning specifically respect bans. Like my thing is, I want to see two teams go at each other with their favorite 5 gods, the ones that they're the best at. And I understand why you can't do that in a game where you both might like Amir, so you just can't do that. But it would still be fun to see that.
We saw a lot of Odin bans, and then our 2 Guardian band choices were always Geb and Khepri, because Khepri, it's like, oh God, I gotta kill him twice, and then with Geb it's like, oh, the inopportune time to put a shield on, oh God, you would have been dead otherwise. So it's like the shield or the double life, it's kind of.
Geb I'm good with. I'm not much of a Khepri player, even as a support main. He's not my playstyle.
For me, it's generally Saul and Khepri and Athena. And if we have second pick, then I will ban Ares. If I have first pick, obviously I'm going to leave Ares open and force them to ban it, or else I'm taking them. But I mean, Ares is auto banned in every Joust match I play anymore. So I haven't played Ares in Joust in probably the last 12 matches.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, there was one match and it really was one match that one guy got really mad at us because of and I don't even remember what our ban picks was, but everything he kept saying, why aren't you banning this and this? Like, they never picked it. And it was like, it didn't matter that you wanted us to ban that because they didn't pick it anyway. Yep. Like, so we might have banned out their favorite god, and you don't know that. So quit bitching.
Yeah.
And start playing, right? Get us a win.
Yeah.
We need a win. How about you, Ragin? How was your week?
Well, I had a pretty good week, I think. As we alluded to earlier, I got my promotion match, so I went from Bronze 1 to Silver 3, which is a nice jump.
Nice.
I've played 2 matches at Silver 3, and I'm 1-1 with those matches. And yeah, doing okay. So I'm 22 tribute into my next promotion level.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm not getting to play Ares ever because he's always auto banned, including I will ban him myself if I
Right.
don't have first pick.
Now,
I do not want to deal with an Ares in those tight lanes.
now, are you solo queuing mostly, or are you in Okami and?
I've done both.
Okay.
I've played some with Okami and Rogue.
Okay.
I played a couple with Super Corey and his brother, and I've also done a lot of solo queuing. And oddly enough, I am doing better in the solo queues, and I have no idea why that is. It really doesn't make sense.
And well, here's my theory. I think that's the first match is making sure if you're 3 people on a team that you're matched with 3 people on another team. You don't think so? I'm
No,
not talking about
I-
in a clan, you know?
no,
Because
because I've
that's so much in favor of that team. If
They-
you're
they
all
might-
3 on the same team.
they might do an MMR adjustment for it, but I know that a lot of my solo queue games I have been matched up against teams, and oddly enough, we win.
Well, and that's
So-
what I was saying. Like
I don't know what it
my
is.
single play, I feel like that I do better than when we queue up, and I'm not on curse voice with anyone, and the communication is definitely less than it would be on. So I don't get it either, and it just feels like there must be something behind the scenes kind of helping that out. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it doesn't make sense to me because I mean Okami is by far a better player than me in basically every aspect of the game. There is no reason why I should be silver 3 and she's only silver 5.
Right.
And yet when we queue together, whether with Rogue or with a stranger danger, doesn't matter. We do not do well. Whereas I can go into a solo and for whatever reason I seem to be able to hold my weight. Maybe it's because we're not expecting as much of each other. You know, you don't
Yeah.
because I'm playing with solos. You know, I don't know if they're going to save my ass when I dive in all aggro tank, so I hold
Right.
that back a little bit. Whereas, you know, of course, me and Okami, we're the aggro team when we're together. So I don't know if that's it or not, but it's I've done both. I'm always happy to queue with people, but
How different are y'all's elo?
well, we don't really know what it is. Of course, I know like
Right, but
the Smite Guru score.
Yeah.
She's in the 2200s. I'm in the 1900s. So she's got 300 points on me.
Well, see, and Eric's got a bunch more points than me.
Yeah, Eric's got a higher than me.
So
as
I'm
well,
wondering if
so.
it's something more of like when I solo queue, it's putting people with, I don't know, maybe even much higher than Eric's, elo than me, but against people that are, you know what I mean? Like when Eric's with me, all of a sudden I'm bumped up playing people in his rank more than down in my rank.
I know
don't
it
know.
did that in season 2 for casuals, like conquest and stuff like that. I used to party up with my clan all the time, and that would, they would be up in like 22, 24. I was at 16, 17, and the entire enemy team would pretty much be that 22, 2400 range.
Right.
I think they have to do that because I've seen what I'm pretty sure is teams trying to lower their matchmaking by playing with a Smurf. Teaming up, having two on their mains, one of them on a low elo Smurf, and then going in. And I think too many people were doing that. Because I certainly have seen instances where, someone who, they were level 30 at least, so they can't be too Smurfy, but they still had a way lower elo, but they were not playing at that lower elo. They were playing at the same level as their teammates.
Okay. I'm still going with, I think there is some sort of elo multiplier if you're grouped up.
There probably is.
That's what I'm
There should
thinking.
be.
And
Yeah.
so if you're grouped up, you're playing, because even if it's 3 scrubs at 200, 300 more elo than each of you, well, that's going to be more difficult, probably. But hopefully balanced out by your communication, right? Just a thought. Anyway, so I kind of jumped into your week a little bit. Anything else, Ragin?
No, that's about it. Other than I hate Ragin, which is ironic because I'm Ragin.
You
But
You hate playing against him or
I-
playing him?
I don't mind playing against him, but I certainly can't play him. He is definitely not my style of god, and I'm halfway to mastery. I will get there. I think I'm 1-3, and the one was I was carried.
I might get him mastered before you. I
Maybe.
love him. He's one of my favorites now.
I almost got mine to diamond.
Bastard.
I'm just kidding.
Mr. Diamond over
I'm
here.
just kidding.
You need like a diamond rings for
Oh.
each of the
Yeah.
guys.
Me and Okami are racing, I think, because last time I talked to her, she was like, "Oh, you almost have as many as I do." And I'm like, "Oh, is this a race? It's on."
How about you, Loki? How's your week been going?
Pretty good. It's been an extremely slow week. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Streamed a couple of nights, took yesterday off as normal, and just been playing Smite. That's really it.
Sweet.
I played a few Raijin games. I personally like him. I can't play him for crap, but I find his kit one of the most fun in the game.
Yeah. Well, and as soon as I started off with him using his 3 as an escape, but once I started using it as damaging, oh man, it's like
Yep.
it's almost like people don't expect him to just pop in, already do a crap ton of damage, and then throw the rest on you, and it's just like, oh.
Well, especially if you
Like,
can
come on.
sneak the 2 in first, you get that in and then teleport on their ass. Yeah,
Yep.
that hurts.
Yeah.
Pop the girdle, teleport in, and just go full ham.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all you gotta do with him.
It's funzy. How about you, Eric? I know you already talked about your ranked.
Yeah, that was really it. The freaking bronze 5.
Yeah, that is honestly, as someone who plays with you, Eric, that is just proof that the qualifying knows nothing, because you do not belong in bronze 5.
It was all my
I
fault.
guess it's just a starting point, right? So you start at the very bottom. It gives me something to do for the next year, because I had never ever done any ranked of any kind. Joust 1v1, solo just never interested me. So I don't know. I think this is fun and it's something to work for. And I mean, usually when I'm playing, I'm generally working for diamonds, because I like the opposite of you, Loki, I guess, because I like to focus on one god and just master him as long as I can, and then he hits diamond, and I just toss him aside and work on somebody else. But now I kind of have like,
aside.
but other than like just god experience, now I have another reason to play, and it's that just to try to rank up. So I think that's pretty cool.
See, and that's one thing. Like when I'm in ranked, I am not playing any god that I don't feel confident in. The weakest of my gods that I have played in ranked are Neith and Isis. But yeah, I am playing Ares, Bacchus, or Odin. One of those 3 almost every match.
The Fat Man Slam.
Yeah, and it's mostly been Bacchus lately, because I never get to play Ares anymore, but Bacchus always gets through. So
I gotta ask, what's your Bacchus build?
Well, I'm tanking, so I am. I usually start with a Oni Hunter's Garb primarily for the magic defense, the MP5. Of course, it depends on the team makeup, so this is very generic. Then I will move into cooldown boots. Then probably a Midgardian, especially if they've got a Hunter or a Kronos or someone.
Okay.
Then a Bulwark, then an Ethereal Staff, and then the 6th item, who knows?
Oh, you throw staff in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
I love Ethereal Staff. It's one of my favorite on the mirror.
It's a little bit different than mine. Mine pretty much goes from supporty to just straight damage, and I'm gonna one-shot you, Bacchus. It's have you been getting meditation on him?
No, not usually.
Okay, no, I've been getting, well, at least with my team for 3v3s, I've been getting med on him right from the start. It is so nice to be able to have that, because, I mean, he's obviously a mana whore, essentially. And that meditation, honestly, when used correctly, like, there's been so many incidents where your teammate would have died if you don't pop that meditation and get that extra healing off as well.
Yeah. I guess I'm a little more selfish, but at the same time, I'm a very aggressive tank.
Yeah.
So I usually, for my relic, I usually start with a sanctuary, because I will need it.
Yeah.
And I am the type that I will just be in your face until you ult me, and that is what I do. My goal when I tank is to be as absolutely annoying as possible. So, yeah, I end up needing it, and it's usually a good pick, because usually, if they get through me, then the meditation wouldn't have helped anyways.
Yeah,
Like,
see,
it
I
wouldn't
normally
save the
go.
situation.
I'm very aggressive as well. Normally, what I do, I go the cooldown boots for the start, and then immediately after, I normally will either pick up Hide, or if we're already doing so well, there's been times when I've gotten Mantle of Discord online at like 4 minutes. I'm not kidding. Like, I guarantee you, every single match I play with Bacchus, I will get Mantle of Discord online before the 5-minute mark. Every single game. And it is so stupid, because then you just belly flop in there, and even if they do get the damage off on you, it's just stunned out, and then you just ultimate and then just belch away.
I like that. I do like a lot of the new items. I think they did really well this season.
It's so
Very
much
happy.
fun. Oh yeah.
Speaking of this season, some miscellaneous things in the week. PS4 Alpha is out, and there's codes everywhere. We'll be giving out some next week, so definitely come back for that.
I finally got my nephew playing Smite because he doesn't have a PC, so he now has an understanding of what his crazy uncle is always tweeting and YouTubing and everything about that drives him nuts.
So do you think PS4 will sponsor the SWC next year, and we'll see some PS4 tournaments? Or will there be
I
some
don't
like
think so.
cross Xbox?
No,
There's no way there can be cross. No.
they've actually already announced that there will not be a PS4 World Championship. There will be an Xbox one again, but they are not doing a PS4 tournament at Worlds.
Yeah, PS4 won't be until next year, I don't think.
And it's probably because of this next thing here. There's an app to use the keyboard and the mouse on the PS4 that you can use. And I think you like basically stream it to your PC or something, and just being able to play a console MOBA with your mouse and keyboard is going to give some people like such an advantage. But then when they get to Worlds and they're like, no, you can't use the mouse and keyboard here, they're like, oh crap.
Yeah, that is insane.
They'd suck.
Also, there's going to be some exclusive PS4 skins. Ymir's getting one. There's a couple.
Odin, I gotta get that Odin one. The color scheme looks really good on it. It's just a recolor, but yeah, that color scheme looks good on him.
I don't need anything other than Daimyo Odin. That's it.
And are these
So
going to
good.
be obtained just by having the PlayStation, or?
You just log in with your account,
Okay.
and it'll bind it just the same way as you do Xbox to get the Zeus skin.
Okay, so we'll trade because I need the Xbox skin still.
That's right. And I have an Xbox. We'll trade. We'll log in, get
I think-
skins.
I think the Xbox ones are done.
Don't say that.
You had,
I think
you
that's
had to do
forever.
it back. You had to do that back in the day, unfortunately.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I think so.
I got my Xbox. I logged in at Christmas time. That's when I got my Zeus skin.
Oh, maybe the Zeus one. I'm thinking, but the Cockademon Emir skin, the recolor for
The
Xbox.
10, Cocodemon
Yeah,
10.
that one's done, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I
That
did see
one's
that.
fun.
Okay, yeah.
That
That
one's
makes
done.
me angry. I can't get
And
it.
But the Odin one on PS4 is going to go that way too. So I need to get it. Which
just
is
want the Twitch
gave
Ymir.
my nephew an alpha code.
Oh yeah, the Twitch
I love the
Ymir.
Twitch mirror.
Brent has that.
Yeah, I stole that one early on. I set my
I stole-
private Twitch to stream at night while I was sleeping, and no one watches that channel, so I could get away with it until I had the hours and get my Twitch. But yeah, no, send a community a message. They'll give it to you if you're a streamer. Like
Mhm.
it's so hard to get now. They say you have to contact them, so do it. You'll get it. Also, Xbox Live stores are having some issues, so Hi-Rez has unlocked all the gods for everyone until this is resolved.
This is the thing I love about Hi-Rez is how they deal with situations like this. And I don't know if it's still going on. I just saw when they were announcing it on Twitter that and I don't even think it's their fault. I think it's on the Xbox, like the Microsoft Live store side. But people who are trying to buy gods or buy the god pack or whatever, it's failing out. So Hi-Rez, rather than deal with all these people being upset and I can't play all the gods, just said screw it until this is fixed. Everybody gets to play everything.
Yeah.
What other game companies would do that is what I think. Like Hi-Rez, it's just another case of where Hi-Rez is just flat out awesome in how they
They
deal
own
with
up to
the
it.
community.
They always own up to their mistakes. But yeah, 100%, I honestly think that it's a Microsoft issue, just because with the reason why the Xbox patches are so late from the PC is because they have to go through rigorous testing to make sure that they are perfect when they go onto the Microsoft client.
Yeah.
So I mean, for something that big to make it through a patch onto the Microsoft client, I'm pretty sure it's something to do with their own issues, not Hi-Res's.
And that's definitely how it read from everything I was seeing on the story.
Yeah.
And speaking of buying gods, we've got a skin sale coming up.
Woohoo!
Yay!
And they said Friday, but logging in today, it looked like it might already be on. And so basically it seems to be almost all of the tier 3 skins, like the ones that you buy for 400 to 600 gems, they're all half price.
Oh wow!
So if you want to stock up on a few skins, or just get that one that you've been eyeballing forever, but you only have 200 gems from your daily logins, well, grab it now while it's good.
Yeah.
Careful though, because there's some dope skins coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
That is
I
true.
gotta do this. Last weekend they had the half off voice packs, and I went ahead and finished it off. Now I have them all.
So do I.
You did.
I
too?
want to do that so bad, just so I don't get any more from chests. Every single Odyssey chest I got this year was a voice pack.
Good point.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Well, that is how I got most of my voice packs, but then it got to the point that I had so many of them that I can just, when they come on sale every once in a while, then I can just pick them all up for 100 gems each and keep 100%. So I don't have that problem. When the Odyssey comes, anytime I get a bonus chest roll, it's not a voice pack. Now it's just avatars.
Yeah,
Avatars,
the completion
avatars.
The completionist in me really wishes they would start adding in some kind of avatar packs where, like, you get like 10 at a time or something, like groups of them, or like you win matches and get them instead of, or maybe the quest, right? At the quest, you get a random avatar instead of the gems. Like, I would like that. Like, it's 30 gems instead of 50. It's not a bad switch.
It's
like the god avatars. Let's say you get the god avatar, you can either buy it or you get it for free once you hit mastery rank 10.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. But we're not to that section yet, so all y'all shut up with your good ideas. We're going to move on to this instead.
Patch of the Pantheons.
Ooh. Woohoo!
So, patch. This is for the March 1st patch on Tuesday.
I think.
Yeah.
Should be. They always do patch notes a week before they release it. So,
do we want to talk about this or wait till next week? I gotta say, I like seeing some. This looks like a buff to Frenzy. Like, I've been getting Frenzy a lot as support, or not as support. Is people who need Frenzy. But so I like seeing a buff there. Does it need it?
I think it kind of needed it. Frenzy was already strong, like not super strong. It was a situational pickup, or just if you're like me, you just like going ham and you pick it up almost every game.
Yeah.
But like one thing that's really got out, I mean, it's gonna make split pushing really nice.
Okay.
So if you think about it because everything is essentially based off of the Conquest map, right? Even though, there's so many other game modes.
Yeah.
So I want you to imagine a split-pushing Loki with a Crusher. Now imagine him with a split-pushing Loki with a Crusher that picked up a Frenzy second item because he can get that much more damage on objectives, on those towers, on those Phoenixes. He's going to rip through them like that.
Yeah, because it's plus 10 true damage, which means it completely ignores all. It's just automatic 10 damage. There's no defense against it whatsoever.
So I don't think it's going to be it overall. Overall, it's not a huge change like for team fights or anything like that. It's a small buff, but for individual gods, I think it was a bigger buff, definitely.
Yeah.
Just for either solo lane play or something similar, like 1v1 jousts.
Yeah. Also, Sunder, faster cast. Something needed to be done.
I have yet
Sunder.
to use this item.
I used it once against Incon, never again.
Yeah, my problem with it is it's like there's too much to do to use it. Like, you click it and then it puts out the arrow to do it, and then you got to click it again to do it, and it's like it just feels like it just needs to be kind of like an auto cast, like shoot out in front of you. Like, if it just did that immediately, that I would probably like it much better.
Autocast I can agree with. I mean, I think we can all agree Smite is a game of skill shots. Everything is a skill shot, except for Cryons 2, essentially. But then you have you're trying to land all these skill shots, then you have another skill shot you're trying to use in an active that has a cast time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it should be a bit more instant.
Yeah. So I don't know how fast the faster cast
It
is,
went
but it'll be
from
interesting to see.
0.2. It's 0.2 now. It went from 0.5 to 0.2.
So we'll see. There's some other stuff. Breastplate, Valor, price increase.
Yeah.
They gotta leave us alone.
The cooldown reduction items continue to get picked on. But I mean, I never understood why breastplate was as cheap as it was. Like, especially back in season 2, it was, what was it, 1950? So it was one of the cheapest items in the game, and who couldn't benefit from having a breastplate of valor? I mean, cooldown reduction and huge physical protection.
Yeah.
Like, it was just obscene.
Yeah,
and
you should even get that on like ISIS. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah,
throw that on
absolutely.
there.
Bubble build.
Yeah. And so I think I totally agree with this price increase. As much as I don't like it because I buy breastplate a lot, that to me though says, yeah, maybe it is a little OP because and needs to be valued more. So
I don't think it's OP. As a support player, I mean, it's a very good item to pick up, and the price, to be honest, was kind of right where it needed to be. Just because as a support, you're always roaming, you're always trying to look for that farm. The main problem is solo lane it was able to pick it up, making them so ridiculously strong. In playing the Conquest matches, you'll look across the board, everyone is going to be level 12 to 14, and solo lane will be sitting at level 18 because of all their solo farm and all of their items. You throw a breastplate of valor on them early, they're able to stay in their lane, they're able to use their abilities. Honestly, what I think should probably happen is there needs to be a separate tree for support, because all of these support items are getting nerfed and it's affecting the support so hardcore just simply because warriors are able to pick them up in solo lane, and that's why they're being so OP.
yeah, I can see that, and it's good, and that makes a lot of sense. Like when you see stuff where they're adjusting the price, that means they're kind of adjusting where they want it to appear in the game and timing wise, and not that it's overpowered or underpowered. Once it's
a price tweak is the smallest tweak they can make.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean,
they can't
it's not
make
like
any stat tweaks on it.
No.
The stats on breastplate are good. They are in a very good place. They're not overpowered. They're not underpowered. It's just the cost, unfortunately, that us supports are now getting torn away from a little bit.
Also,
The solo lane is still going to make that gold up. They solo farm. They're still going to get that online very early if they want it.
right.
But I mean, for us as supports, we're going to have to stay in lane quite a bit longer before we get any tanky items online.
Yeah.
the Bulwark of Hope.
Much needed.
Yeah.
It got fixed finally. No more unkillable Koombas
I
sleeping on the ground with the shield.
wouldn't say
around 'em.
fixed. I would say tweaked, not fixed.
yeah, it
It's a-
still seems like a very small tweak for an item that everyone is screaming about being overpowered.
Well, the fact that it expires after 20 seconds, that was the real big thing. You can't just walk around all day long with this shield on. That was unintended, apparently. I
Well,
didn't
now
hear
you can
anything
kill 'em,
otherwise, but now it expires after 20 seconds.
Yeah. So you got
Yep.
10 seconds.
I still think it should. I think it's in a good place if the shield expires less than 20 seconds.
You think 20 is too long?
I think 20 is a little bit too long because that gives you the option when you have those. Okay, let's say you're playing Fenrir, you got Bulwark on, there's a big team fight, you proc it, you get it, you jump out of the fight, you have a Hell, the Hell heals you up, you now have that Bulwark proc plus your healing, so you already have that extra thing. That in itself, let's say it takes about roughly 6 to 7 seconds to accomplish, you then have a few more seconds before you can get back into the team fight. It gives you, having a 20 seconds on that gives you the option of trying to juke around in a team fight to not take damage to be able to reinitiate after some sort of healing is done to you. I think maybe more of a 5 to 7 second would be a little bit more feasible. That way it would come off, and if you do stay in that fight, you will be punished.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. To me, Bulwark should only be to get your ass out of the fight. It should not be get out of the fight and then have the option to re-engage.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think maybe this change was just to fix that bug with Kumba.
Yeah. Or just so that it finally
They'll
turns off,
balance
right? 'Cause,
later,
like,
right?
it would never turn off unless you hit some health threshold, and that could be in a few minutes. Actually, I mean, it would last forever. So.
And there's a lot of other stuff which I'm sure we'll talk about next week. When
You
it's
don't want to
here.
talk about Artemis's boar attacking
No,
minions?
yeah,
That's
no.
pretty
If
awesome.
there's anything
That's
cool in here
big.
you want to talk about, we can talk about. But
Nah.
I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And we got some other stuff to get to. I mean, we don't really have that much more to get to.
Yeah.
So Artemis's boar is huge, though. Don't
Yeah.
belittle
No, absolutely, because now
that doubles her ultimate range.
So and basically now her boar
I
will hit
see, I
minions if no gods are available. So it'll run,
It'll
hit the
chain.
minions, and then hopefully it'll be in
Yep.
range to hit a god or
It's
more
now-
minions.
it's now like Zeus's chain lightning.
Right.
If you can just hit a minion with it, then you're gonna get it in there.
Exactly. The ganks that are going to be possible coming out of the jungle on the conquest map with this, I mean, because a lot of people play back and play safe. But if they're playing back and playing safe and you're Artemis with your ultimate up, if your jungle's coming in for a gank, you can set that ultimate down, hit a minion, have it branch off all the way back to where they think they're fine with Tusky, have them stun him, jungle comes in for the kill.
That is pretty
It
good.
has some potential.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and she's already dangerous in that 3v3. This is gonna be scary.
She's so good. I love my Artemis.
I see the new bands coming. Artemis and Ares. We'll just get the A's out of the way.
Just
Anything
not
else
the
here
bands.
that people like to see? Apparently, people have figured out that Isis is slow is actually really good, and they decided to reduce that. So yeah, skins.
The Raging Skin.
Now that
Yep.
says Kiss Raging. Is that like Kiss the band?
Yeah.
Oh!
He's got like
Yes!
he's got like
Yeah.
face white and black face makeup. Yes.
I will have that day one.
He's
It's so
very
good.
much themed like the heavy metal Thor, but yeah, he's got the white and black face paint. It's
Okay,
not
clean salmon.
exactly Peter Criss face paint, but yeah, it's definitely Kiss makeup.
I think this is the start to the heavy metal lineup where they're, they have the pirates, they
Yes.
have
Right.
all the ninjas and stuff. Like, I think this is going to be like, they have one of each type, like support and everything. It's going to be
Yep.
some sort of heavy metal.
Then maybe we'll see the team cards.
I wanna see,
Still want to see the team
That's
card.
still a great idea. I like the
yeah.
idea that you had there.
I want to see one of the girls like lead it forward with the like ripped jeans, like a
Lita
jeans
Ford.
jacket.
Maybe Samantha Fox.
Yeah, there you go.
Something like
No,
Artemis.
she does not count as heavy
Metal
metal.
Soul could be
Kesha, maybe. Well,
some Kesha.
no.
No, we're not going like bubblegum pop here. We're going metal,
Oh,
or at least
Yeah.
hair metal.
I don't know metal.
What about a good Lizzie
gotta,
Hale skin?
gotta be Sean Easel from White Zombie.
We're
That's
Oh,
gonna do
that's
some like bluegrass. I mean, the Avett Brothers skins,
bluegrass band. Hey,
something like that.
yeehaw.
I would
mean,
be
you get some
totally
really
fine
good
with
bacchus,
it.
like banjo stuff.
I want to see an Athena Lizzie Hale skin. That's what I want to see.
Hmm.
I'd like to see.
If Raging is like gonna be Kiss is like his drums reskinned too to look like
Yep.
tom drums and
Yep.
stuff. Like actually,
That-
okay.
That's correct. Like everything on him just
Cool.
looks like he's on the stage for a heavy metal rock concert.
Okay, because I haven't seen this picture yet, but yeah, day one, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have the patch notes up right here. Let me link it to you. I'll put it in chat.
That sounds awesome.
And then if Raging, if you can
Just
yeah,
link
no,
the
it's in
image.
Chat. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you can see his drums. It's got like the heavy metal spikes and stuff like that on there.
Crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh. Putting it up on the stream here so you can see it.
I'm like, where'd it go? Oh, it just covered me up. Bam.
That's awesome. Love it.
That was really cool. I'm liking it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, show's over. I'm just gonna look at this for a while.
dream and wait.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
5 more days. 5 more days.
Oh man, that's gonna be about the time Black Desert Online's coming out too. Like I'll be so much stuff going on.
Don't remind me. I want to play it so bad.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be weird but fun. A bunch of other skins. We'll
Talk about that
Mecha
next week,
Thanatos, Street Urchin, Cupid, Epsilon, Soul, Tier 2, Jingten, Jingten, Soul Mastery skins.
Sweet.
Stuff like
That's
that.
about it.
More bot options for practice co-op. What's that? Like just better
Well,
bots?
right now, all the bots, except I think in Arena, all the bots are at that medium difficulty. Now you can turn them back to easy if you're
Oh.
like me and like to go slaughter bots when you don't have time
I want
or
extra
patience to
hard.
play a real game.
I
They're
want.
probably working on that. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people have been screaming for extra hard, like for actually like really skilled, technically, never miss a shot, really well programmed, and I don't know why they haven't.
I think they did change the skill level on the medium actually.
Make it harder.
To make it slightly harder. I think I'm pretty sure they changed the coding. Because I remember Hindus saying something about that along the lines where now, like, let's say there's a Hades as one of the bots, and he will be aware. So, like, if you're coming to gank the lane or something like that, and if you try to use an ability on him, that bot will fear you and silence you every single time. Like, as long as that cooldown is up, he will do that to you if you come and gank him. I think he compared them to like silver players, maybe.
Okay.
And that's actually brings up a point too, is that there's a lot more bots now. It's not just the same 5 in Arena and the same 5 in Conquest. I think they said there's now 24 different gods that have bots now. So
23 on easy and 24 on medium.
Wow.
Don't know why it's a different number.
And that's probably the difficulty. I mean, to like tweak all these gods to do, all the pathing and all the certain stuff, to then like say, okay, let's make it harder. Well, how do we make this harder?
And they don't know anything about like the mechanics of new gods, right? Like all the like.
Right, on the other
because,
team when they come out.
When I was against bots as Kumba and I was doing the test with the Bulwark of Hope invincibility bug.
Right.
The second I fell dead and I'm sitting there waiting for the bots to auto attack, they just instantly just walked away. I mean, just instantly. Like, and there was a gang of 4 of them on me, and the second I laid down, so it's like
they would have to go program that in.
Yeah,
for
they
each
would need to know that
and,
that's a thing,
But the reason why I want bots, and I don't actually play against the bots a lot, but what I would like them for is when I have new friends come into play, it's so much easier to just be like, okay, let's go in and play some bots just so you can, we'll probably win. But I mean, I remember when I was, first playing like League of Legends, like you could play the bots and you could still lose. Like it was still like they were, if you were the higher level bots, I don't know what they were, if they're advanced or expert or what. All I know is there were some times where it's like, oh, well, Eric just bought 3 pairs of boots. We're definitely going to lose.
Oh, yeah.
Not that happened for real.
Oops.
But anyway, so I like the bots. It's really cool that they're working on it. I'll have to try the Conquest bots, see what that's like. Maybe that'll make me
It's
feel
a good
better.
place to try out a new god.
Definitely.
As soon as there's a new god, the first thing I do is a bot match, because I feel like I'm wasting people's time if I go in completely cold and I just like, I'm trying to learn a god, people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's just not good. Not a good team
Not
member
good
there,
etiquette.
That's why I miss.
Yeah.
That's why I miss the old practice joust against Rawbot. Rawbot was so stupid and so predictable that if you were wanting to try out a certain combo, if you wanted to try out, a certain build, you would know exactly how he would react. So you could always, actually pull off your combo and see how effective it was.
You can pretty much do that in the jungle practice now, though, with the Ra in there.
Yeah, I suppose.
He's pretty predictable because, yeah, I'm pretty sure he goes through the exact same rotation of moves every time. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure.
You heard it here first. Everybody quote him. Tweet it. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so speaking of predictability, we got a call in from one of our favorite listeners. But first, we have to move on to this.
Vulcan's Workshop.
I'm scared. Is that Satan?
Oof.
It's
Sounded like it.
it's not Vulcan. Vulcan's not in his workshop. Someone else is. Like, what's going down in here? So, yeah, we got a call from JBJ Blaze. So let's hear that before we go into ours.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hello there on Smitesters. This is JBJ Blaze. And my idea for Vulcan's Workshop, I actually had to look that up. But anyway, I was thinking, since Deadpool recently came out, and they actually did a similar thing with Mad Max with the Furiosa skin for Bellona. What do you guys think of having a Deadpool skin? Anyway, thanks for the great join. Bye-bye!
Lawsuit.
Well, you know,
Remember
they
The
back
Deadpool
then?
movie threatened, funny enough.
Yeah.
But
they have walked that line very closely in
Yeah.
other situations, but yeah, we've also seen them have to pull them back.
They did
So-
cross the line in the movie. Technically. Technically.
What do you mean?
Bob.
Bob?
Yep.
Bob.
The scene.
Okay, no
Everyone's seen
spoilers.
it, right?
No,
Have
I haven't.
everyone
I've
seen it?
seen it. No
No.
spoilers. No
I
spoilers.
can't say it. I can't say it. Then. Never mind.
So-
It's a very, very small spoiler, but just there's technically a character that they refer to by name, but they don't actually call him his full Marvel name.
I
So
know, I know
everyone
what
in the-
you're talking about. I saw
Yes,
the
you know what I'm
movie.
talking
yeah,
about.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Oh,
everyone in the
okay,
theater
okay.
knows who they're referencing, but because they don't use that name, there's not really much Marvel can do about it. But they technically crossed that lawsuit
Well,
threshold.
Gotcha.
they did
So
that with
is Dead-
Bastet, though.
is-
Remember with Catwoman,
Yep.
Catgirl, or whatever they called
And they
it?
had
Well,
to they
and
had
then
to
they
tone
pulled
that
her.
one back.
Yeah.
They pulled it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't use the actual name.
So
It was
close.
way too
It was
similar to the
so close.
actual thing, though.
No, I can see it if they take a god like the one that immediately pops to mind is Amaterasu just because of the sword. But you know, if they get the right god and just put it in a black and red costume and give it snarky voice lines, people will know what it is, but it will fall within that realm, just like how, you know, that cuckoo skin is not a Pokemon. It just happens to be similarly themed.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like the Amaterasu thing because that's you know, obviously it fits with the katana. Her charge up with the mirror, he could actually, or she could fire a couple guns when it actually goes off, a couple pistols.
Mhm.
I could see that. I like it, and there has been there is a lady Deadpool in the Marvel universe as well, so it's not that far of a stretch.
So yeah, bring it
nice,
on.
I guess.
Bring
Yeah,
it
Jabba
on.
J. We'll get some Deadpool.
It must be
I
good.
might-
Brent didn't tear it apart.
We'll get the Deadpool.
I love that movie.
Hmm? Hmm?
I'm by no way biased at all. At all.
Let's see here. We'll start with we'll just start from top to bottom. With Loki going last. Raging.
Okay, this is going to fall in that category of it will never work in the game, so it's a dumb idea, but it would be really cool to see. And this has to do with the god I previously said I hate, Raging. Well, Raging's known for having a counterpart, Fujin. Raging is thunder and lightning, Fujin is wind. And I was thinking, like, if you could bring a god like Fujin in as well, and you had them both on the same team, if there was some kind of combo move that they could do together, and not just like Ares ult pull and then Zeus kind of combo ult, like it actually does something extra if you've got the two of them together. Oh God, he's gonna get me. If you had the two of them together and actually put their moves to work together, it would actually combo. Now, obviously, this idea is broken, and it would just result in any of these pairs that they set up. You'd always just ban one of them. But
Right.
it was just, you know, in that completely strict fantasy idea of what would just be cool to see in the game, to have, you know, Raging and Fujin both do this together and kind of combo. You know, it would just look really awesome.
It'd be like Hoonin and Moonin. Remember those guys? That used
Oh,
to be
yeah.
our male section.
Yep.
Yes,
Hugging
yes.
and
the
London,
Odin's
Moonin.
Ravens.
Oh yeah.
That was
Mugen and Moonin,
Wes
I
was too smart for us. He said smart stuff. We don't do that anymore.
Nope.
Smart stuff's just wrong. Anyway, so yeah, you tore your own idea. That works. No. So okay, so what I
Sorry
was
to
thinking,
rob you of the pleasure.
well, you're probably gonna get the pleasure here. So, I've been thinking like, you know, like you queue up for something and you're like either filling or people are like auto queuing and like getting teams, and then you get comps that are stupid because people don't. Anyway, I'm thinking, what if they did kind of like how like WoW does when you're queuing up for a dungeon? You queue up, and they could either do it like a specific god or a specific type, and I think probably the type would be the best.
I think it'd be roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Roll definitely.
so then you would say, okay, I want to play as Guardian in Arena, you know, and you would queue up, and then it would look for the other 4 positions, and then bam, you're in a game. and then if like there wasn't enough people picking Guardian, it would say there'd be an icon on the Guardian that says 15 extra favor or 10% extra favor or something,
Or
to
just
get
queue
people
length.
to do that, or queue length, right? And so you could see, but then like you go in already knowing like what you're playing, and you're playing what you want to play, and I think it would make everybody happy, and at the same time you would still queue just as fast. And so, and I think that's probably one issue why they wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, so
I like that because roles right now are just a community-driven thing. It's invented by the players, because as far as I know, there's nowhere in the UI or in the game of Smite at all that says the words jungler, solo lane. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't exist in the game. It's not a mechanic. It is unknown.
It used to be listed as a strength for, I think, Arachne, that she was an excellent jungler, but that was a long time
That was
ago.
a very long time
Yeah.
ago.
They've taken that out since, but that was there at one point.
Yeah. So that would be introducing roles into Smite. I don't know. I like that.
I agree with it, and I also like it for the standpoint where it would almost force or push certain people to try different roles, because there's so many people out there, let's say, that they want to be the ADC every single game. Well, if you're putting your role as ADC, your queue time is going to be a heck of a lot longer than if you put your role as support or mid or something like that. Because there's going to be so many more people that are going to be trying for that role. Every single time I go into a lobby, there's 4 people that yell solo almost.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you want a quicker game, you would almost have to look at trying a different role other than what you're normally doing.
Yeah.
Unless you're a support player, and then you would always get in, because support's always going to be the shortest.
I'm golden.
Yeah.
I'm
But I
golden.
like the idea. I like the idea of forcing these ADC people to play support once in a while.
Oh gosh, yeah. Let them see what we go through for them.
Yeah.
It is extremely tough for us to play Ymir and intentionally wall them into the enemy team to watch them die. It's very stressful for us, and I want them to know this.
Don't give away your tricks. Eric.
Okay, so while you're voting, or while you're banning, I think it would be cool if you could vote for who it is that is your team captain, or who it is that's on the top, who is banning for you. Before the game, before the podcast tonight, I didn't know this, but we were talking about this, and Loki said it's based on ELO, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So instead of being based on how good or bad or how much experience you have with the game, if there was just a little check mark next to each name, and if anybody click, if two people, or if the majority of the people click on somebody's name, then it suddenly boosts them to the top. If nobody votes, then it is what it is, But at least it would give the team the ability to allow someone else to take care of the banning, and this came up because me and Brent were in a game, a 3v3 ranked, and the stranger came in, right? He's actually on one of the games he wasn't banning, but he was yelling at Brent because you should magically know what he wants banned, right?
Yeah.
And then another game, the stranger was the one banning. We're like, oh, good, because like if anything, we just don't want some random dude yelling at us. So like, you do the banning, whatever, but there's no control over that.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not going to tear this up because
Okay.
I like the gist of it, but I got a little change that
Okay.
might make it more fun. What if everybody got to pick?
What do you mean, everybody?
So so
Like
you
a
go
vote
in
for
and
what
banning
you
phase
ban?
starts, and you each pick like what you think should be banned, so you can see what other people want to ban,
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
and it could still auto do by like 2 people pick the same god, so that one wins.
Okay, so
But if they
majority.
don't, then maybe it would go by elo or random, like it'd go do 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 and pick one of them, right?
Oh,
Oh,
I was like,
God.
what is it? There's 5 bands right now in Conquest. There's 5 members on each team. You could just have it go right across the board, right on down.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
like that.
I kind of like
It's
that,
definitely
yeah,
possible.
because it's interactive for everybody, but also you could be very passive and just not do anything.
Yeah.
Except whoever places the third ban bans a pantheon instead of a god.
Ouch.
Whole
pantheon.
Nice.
Greek every time. Greek. I mean that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
fine.
that's
I'm a
just-
Norse boy.
That's
That's
unfair
just
for,
numbers.
for Chinese. You know, it's like womp womp.
Rip Amaterasu.
Okay, so that leaves us with Loki.
I'm probably just gonna go back to what I kind of stated earlier, where I really think that supports need their own item tree, in a way, for at least their protection items, for their sovereignties, for their heart wards, for the breastplate of valors, just so we're not getting nerfed so hard into the ground every single time solo lane just becomes this immediate OP. And I mean, that was even a thought that I had earlier today. Like I kind of stated, you get so much solo farm over in solo lane. You become so tanky so quick that you almost don't need that support. You still kind of do for the rest of the map because they're going to be rotating. But that's kind of why I like my janky picks on everything. What if you actually change the meta, and this could obviously happen because it's a changing meta, what if you change dual lane into a kill lane? What if you have a mage paired with an ADC? What if you do something more on the lines of damage, that way that can stay safe, that way when the team fights start happening in mid to late game, you already have your solo lane who's so tanky, who's built up so much, rotating in to take that support role, which they almost do because support or solo lane hits level 20 before support hits level 13. It's almost it's kind of ridiculous in that fashion.
Isn't the easier option just to reduce the farm in the solo lane?
You could reduce the farm in the solo lane, but the thing about it is it would pretty much just be those minions that go in lane, and then you could reduce the boars. If they reduce if they increase the cooldown timers on the boars, I think that would be a huge step. But you're also getting so much farm over there. I don't know. Plus, technically, we kind of went over this. There's really no distinct place that a god can go. You don't look at a god profile other than the very old Arachne and see them go jungle, and see them go solo, and see them go dual lane. The meta is supposed to unfold as we, the players, create it. And unfortunately, we're stuck in this huge rut right now where you need a solo, you need a mid, you need a jungle, and you need a support and ADC over in duo lane. And I just kind of wonder what would happen if we kind of just threw all that away and started from scratch right now. With how much farm you're able to get over on that side of the map, with how tanky you're able to get so quickly. I think there's a potential for, I don't think any pro play, but maybe some casual cheese at least, that could potentially happen. Because the thing about it is, I do Ratatasker support. I stated that earlier. And the thing about that is, you're not tanky, obviously, but you're able to stun. You're able to set up kills. You're able to do that damage. Now, when I have a solo lane tier who's able to be unkillable by the 14-minute mark in the game, I don't need to be that tanky support anymore, so it really works for that situation. When you're a Yanis support and you're building full cooldown, you're able to let your team rotate so quickly, as well as you can get out of the situations or portal and slow the enemy team before they can even come and try for the ganks on you or get portal your ADC out of a bad situation. I think there's a little bit of room. Obviously, it does seem kind of weird, but it's just be interesting to see what can come out of it.
See, guys, this is an idea. This is what we need for this section. If y'all would come up with things like this each week.
Yes, Dad.
Okay.
Also, they
Yeah.
need to apply old Mannequin Scepter's passive to Naja's basic attacks.
Say that
And-
again.
Did you ever play PTS before season 2 came out? For the season 2 PTS,
No.
Season 2 now.
they had Mannequin Scepter, which was a starter item where every 1 out of 3 auto attacks, you had a chance to put a damage over time on the enemy. And it was stupid overpowered, and they immediately took it out of the game. That's kind of just one of my little troll things that I would like, because one, Naja is Naja, and I think it would be hilarious to add that in with Naja's basic attacks and crits.
Nice.
Weird.
I think I'm probably glad they left it out.
Yeah.
So.
It's a very, trust me, it's a very good thing, but it'd be so hilarious if they brought it back.
And speaking of hilarious, it would be hilarious if you emailed us,
Yeah.
ask us questions.
It would be awesome.
You can leave your own Vulcan's workshop. He won't come to kill you, I promise. He's locked in the workshop. Just send any of those to mercury@onsmitepodcast.com. Or if you want to leave some voice mails, just like you heard from JBJ Blaze, just go to
Blaze!
just go to speakpipe.com/onsmite, and you can leave it there, or on our website, onsmitepodcast.com, as well as our skins giveaways every Friday, and we appreciate it, Gabe, for giving those, and High Res, thank y'all so much. Next week we'll be doing the PS4 giveaway, so come back 7 p.m. Central, and definitely go and sign up on LokiPlague's channels. On where can everybody find you, Loki?
They can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. All of it is at LokiPlague.
So go there, sign up, follow, subscribe, and check out what he's doing, because it's some epic stuff, and I'm sure it'll just get epicer. That's a word, right?
Epicer.
It's
Epicer.
definitely a word.
Epicer.
If ginormous was added into the dictionary, I think that's definitely a word.
Cool. Coming next year.
You can watch Loki.
Don't wholly do that.
You can watch Loki walling off his friends in the jungle
Ex-friends.
and watching them die.
But I can't shake their screen as Bacchus anymore. It makes me so sad.
Okay, well, that'll do it for us. Thank you again for tuning in for another week of Smite. And until next week, Smite on!